So we start the show with Terry being asphyxiated. You know,
Yes.
I think we need to stop the stream right here. It can only go downhill from here. I mean, we've reached epic Terry right here. This is epic Terry. I don't
Yes.
think we'll see epic
Yes, we
Terry
have.
again. So thanks for
There we
showing
go.
up, folks. This has been DRS. We actually aren't here just for cats. It's hard to
We
believe.
aren't? Wait a minute. We aren't?
Well, there was a theory
I was
at one point in
lied
time
to.
that we did something to do with pop culture writing and things like that, and skills and yada. And but now we just became a cat show. I don't know. This is what we have. This is why 2023 needs to end. And that's why I need to say, howdy, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Dead Robot Society, where we are kissing 2023 goodbye with a rocket launcher. I'm Paul Lee Cooley. Joining me today, Veronica Chiguer and Terry Mixon. Howdy, folks.
And Julius.
And Julius's butt.
We only acknowledge humans on this show. Terry, you have to leave.
Damn it.
Julius can stay.
Well, he is the more
Terry
handsome of the pair.
I was about to say, Terry is Julius's seat, so if Terry leaves, Julius leaves. So it's kind of like you have to take both.
Oh my God. This is how we're going to start today. I had all these plans and Julius wrecked all of them just by showing up in the last 10 seconds.
He's going to keep wrecking them, it looks like.
He'll be back.
Yeah, but will you ever be the same?
As Terry goes and clears all the cat hair.
Well, here we are 2 days before the new year. And our small talk better be all about kicking this piece of shit to the door, as well as the entire episode. I have so many horrible things to say about 2023. I can't wait to get started. Go ahead, V. How are you doing?
Oh, goodness. I spent the last 2 days in a bowling alley. Surprise. But, yeah. And just in Orlando. So it wasn't terrible, but I have finally wrapped up projects and done pickups. So I get to start new project, start a year, start fresh. We're not that kind of show, Brett. I mean, I can't point everywhere.
Wow.
But
Continue, V.
But anyway, so yeah, so I haven't really gotten any writing done. I've been like picking at writing stuff, but it's just this time of year. It's so many other things I'm responsible for. It's just it's so Christmas at my house is literally a 3-day event because there's stuff going on the day before. There's stuff going on Christmas Eve, and there's stuff going on Christmas Day. And considering that I was hosting Christmas dinner, yeah. I did a lot of cooking, a lot of baking, and I'm a lot of tired. And I don't have a lot of leftovers because teenagers.
Yeah, they're kind of good as garbage disposals.
Well,
Wait,
when
one of them is moving, that's going to leave more food for you, right?
Oh, but he still comes home. And I am still that parent who's like, oh, you're leaving here, take leftovers. So he literally left with a plastic Publix bag full of takeout containers full of turkey and ham and mashed potatoes and a ton of desserts and desserts for his girlfriend because she got me cool coffee presents and I like her. So I was like, here, she wants, small apple tarts. Go for it. Please get the dessert out of my house.
I won't eat it if it's not here.
Pretty much. So yeah, the end of my year right now is more family stuff, and poutine and hockey and football and probably some journaling and goal setting because maybe that'll make things better. Who knows? What about you, Terry?
Oh gosh, the holidays.
Aside from your upper body workout with
Yeah, I was
Billy.
gonna say, is this geezer size with cats? What is this the new exercise craze?
That's it.
Geezer
That's exactly
size.
what it is. Catercise, everyone. Or maybe
Catercise.
it should be caterwauling.
Caterwauling geezer edition. There we go.
The holidays thus far have been exhausting, but for totally different reasons than Veronica went through. I had a deadline to turn in a book on December 23rd, which I did not make. I know, but that's okay. The editor said that she had absolutely no intention of looking at anything on Christmas Eve or Christmas. So I had until, the end of Christmas Day to go ahead and get it done. So Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I spent all day until midnight, both days working to get caught up, and finished it like 4 minutes before midnight and tossed it over the fence. And then spent the next 2 days recovering from that. So I was exhausted. Now I'm productive, though, because the last 3 days I've written 21,000 words.
Nice.
Holy shit, look at you.
So that worked out.
Clearly.
Writing. What is that?
Words.
Words. What are words for?
As far as the year as a whole, it's actually been a pretty good year for me.
I'm so glad for you, Terry. I'm glad somebody had a good year.
It just happens. Whenever I have a good year, you have a bad year. I'm not sure why we're so different.
I haven't had a good year in a while, dude.
A good writing day, I have one. You don't have one. You have a good writing day, I don't have one. It's weird how it just works that way.
Well, I'm on the downside now, so you better enjoy the upside before we flip again, because it's going to be epic bad. Actually, no, the epic bad's not going to stop. It's just getting started. Well, I have not been writing. I have been editing and editing and editing and editing and editing, and I have so much more editing to do. It's just not even funny. So going through Evolution, rewriting quite a bit of it as I go, because I look at it and I'm going, who wrote this shit? So I'm rewriting whole paragraphs and going through and looking at it and thinking, why the fuck did I ever think this was ready? And I've been ignoring it for like the last 4 years because I think part of me knew it's going to be bad when you go back and look at it. And sure enough, it is. So I'm spending the next 2.5 weeks on this book doing nothing but I'm giving it a read through now and I'm blitzing it and then going back and rereading each chapter, going through, making notes, making comments as I come across it. And it'll probably take me at least another 3 days to get through, or 4 days to get through the rest of the chapters that I need to get through. If I keep going on this slash and burn exercise. And then once I'm done with that, I will look at all the notes. And then we'll see what I need to make decisions on and how many of these paragraphs I can just plain cut. And then maybe I'll actually have it ready for a third pass where it better be in somewhat legible shape. And then I'll be a happier man.
Well, that would be good.
Yeah, it will be good. So,
oh, I forgot to mention last night. Last night was fun, too.
What's that?
Well, my wife and I went ahead and took advantage of a Verizon Christmas special to go ahead and upgrade our iPhones and picked up new iPads and iWatches to go along with it because that was part of the deal. And somehow they forgot to order her iPad and iWatch.
Oops.
And nobody really knew what the problem was. And she got into a go-around with them over the phone on the customer support line. And I needed to be in the next county because I'm talking full-blown Karen taking place. And I'm like, I can't even listen to this. So I'm zipping to the other side of the store and hiding and ducking for cover.
Cats are fleeing the store.
We had originally intended to go to the gun range yesterday and do some shooting to relax. And she called, I'll just call him on the way there and see what happens. That was a big mistake. Big mistake. That turned into a big old shouting match and whatnot. They said, I want to go to the store. I'm like, I've got this bag full of guns. I don't think it's a good idea for us to go to that store.
Please,
I don't trust you.
Target.
I don't trust you around guns and ammunition when you're this upset. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that I know you.
But we went to the store, talked to the original salesman, and he finally dug up the fact that he made a mistake and he didn't order the other two. So he called a different store and found them, and we went and picked them up, and now everything is taken care of. But
Yay.
that pretty much wrecked yesterday evening.
Yeah.
Needless to say, we did not get to the range.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But oh my gosh, I'm literally standing inside the Verizon store next to the manager, and she's outside walking in front of the door back and forth on her phone, just going to town on him. And we're both just looking at her going, wow, I hope she don't come in here.
Holy shit.
You know
I'm,
her?
I'm
Yep,
like,
that's why
I'm like,
in here.
I'm like, I'm real sorry, man.
See that Tasmanian devil over there? You might want to make that happy because, you know, I belong to it. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to stop tearing up the store. Just give it what it wants. It'll go away. I promise.
Drew said that the Apple Watches, except for the SE, cannot be produced and imported anymore due to Apple losing an international patent dispute. And that is true, except for the fact that they appealed it and the stay was put on hold and they're selling them again, at least for the time being.
That's too, because my wife works for the retail store. And
I've
they
got
had to unpack all the odd watches they were going to send back.
Yeah. The watches we got were the SE second generation. So I don't know anything about Apple Watches, but, you know, it was free, basically.
There's no such thing as free.
I'm sure that that's the case.
Service fees.
Yeah, undoubtedly that's the case, but I needed something to keep track of my pulse while I was doing the walking on the treadmill anyway, so I can use it for that.
No, I think it's a good device. It's just
I don't wear jewelry and I don't wear watches, so I just don't like the feeling of constriction on my wrist, on my fingers, whatever. I don't like the feeling of jewelry, but I'll wear it for exercising.
I have an Apple Watch. I don't think I've worn it in 4 or 5 years.
I'll probably take it to Vegas, you know, because knowing when things are about to start is probably important.
Probably. But don't you have a phone for that?
I do, but it's in my pocket. I'm not watching it all the time.
Well, if you want to know what time it is, don't you just pull it out and look at it?
You know, you're just too logical. I just don't know if I can deal with that. What if it's cosplay day and I'm not wearing something that has pockets?
That it goes in the same category as what if I'm mugged by a group of punkers and they take all my clothes away? I won't have my phone, but my watch I'll still be wearing my watch. That's going to work. What the fuck are you babbling about? I crave death. Wow. Well, now Terry's ruining everything for everybody by the sound.
Apparently.
You know, taking off his clothes, just walking around with his watch on. The Emperor has no watch. No clothes either.
You know, you wouldn't see me naked if you weren't watching.
Coming next year to a steampunk con near you, Apple Pocket Watch. You know, if not for the fact that would kind of eliminate like 90% of all the health and haptic stuff, that'd be kind of cool. Useless, but cool. Emperor has no shoes. Okay, I buy that. I completely buy that. All right. I am here to fillet 2023.
Flay or fillet?
Yes, let's go with both.
Okay.
And if I can flens in there too, I'll flens it while I'm flaying it. They're kind of the same thing.
Just don't forget to floss. You can't forget to floss if you're going to do the rest of that. 2023
is a rotted tooth I want pulled. I do not want to floss it. I do not want to clean it. I do not want to polish it. I want to destroy it. The big time difference. Oh, Chris, he doesn't gamble.
I don't.
He doesn't gamble.
It's not that I have anything against gambling. It's just that I don't see the purpose of it. I don't get any enjoyment from it, so why bother?
What happened in 2023 that was any damn good?
I sold a lot of books. I wrote a lot of words.
You sold a lot of books. You wrote a lot of words. B?
I worked in a genre that I hadn't worked in before and discovered that I really liked it and was good at it. So that's a good thing. And I picked up a new side gig um, that actually made me excited about education again, which was different because I'd gotten burned from my old job. And so now doing like audiobook narrator, continuing education, and managing that, it's fun. So that's a good thing. What else? Nothing
Nothing
relevant here. Yeah, I
Nothing
mean,
else?
I could tell you about how I can kill it in spin class now, but that's really not relevant here. Nobody, y'all never going to see me at your gym, so we're good.
You totally should set up a learning class and do a series of lectures and put them up on Teachable for teaching authors how to interface with their narrators.
Audiobook narrators.
I could, but they're probably going to be people who do it better than I do, and have a wider audience. And 2, I don't need another side project. And 3, I actually have a packet that I do need to update that I give away for free to authors as a kind of, just putting good out into the community. And so, hey, maybe they'll hire me. The new genre, Michael Wally, it was paranormal women's fiction. So essentially you have a protagonist, so usually a female protagonist, and it's usually like a midlife crisis sort of thing. So oftentimes they're divorced or widowed, and they come into magic or some kind of magical fantasy thing. I had one series where she comes into a magical bakery, and she has a 10-year-old daughter, and the books are all about her discovering her new life in this magical bakery. And I warn people, when you listen to or read the book, don't do it hungry because you will want to go bake things and eat. And then the other one learns that she's part fae and inherits this huge house in Oregon and winds up realizing that the house comes with a magical talking cat. Who
As well, they should all do that.
Well, yes, but the magical talking cat also will shift into a 400-pound saber-toothed bobcat looking thing, and his solution if someone comes to attack his human is to eat them. But he has to ask permission before he can eat them.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, she doesn't want the body count on her land.
Well, not if the animal finishes it off completely. It's not a problem.
No leftovers, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to give away spoilers, but there may be a good solution in the third book.
Okay.
Maybe.
Fair enough.
Weirdly enough, I'm listening to a new lit RPG book that's kind of a subgenre that I'm not listened to before. It's got slice of life in it. And I don't know that I've ever listened to anything that was slice of life. What it means is that the story involves large elements of him just living his life, doing his thing.
It's not a narrative. It is basically a snapshot of a period of time of a person and what they're doing.
I don't know that I would say it's that. I'd say that it's more, instead of epic plot, it's got him setting up a farm and doing the thing. Oh, I've got to get the barn ready. The barn's not good shape. Oh, I need to have this cellar. We're going to dig out the cellar. Oh, I need to go ahead and sell the eggs. Things that, you don't normally have those take place in books quite that way. So it's an interesting experience. But I have to say that I like the story simply because the protagonist is portrayed in a way that makes it sound by the narrator like it's a Western that I'm listening to, because it sounds like he's the gunslinger with no name. It really does. It sounds like he's the stranger.
And he stared down the oven with his oven cleaner.
There is drama involved in this. There are bad people doing bad things that are taking place. there are unpleasant folks, and he acts like the stranger, the gunslinger that's, I've put away my guns. I'm not necessarily going to kill you, but I'm going to make you think I might kill you. So it's an interesting experience feeling westernized in a book like that.
William says slice of life has narrative structure, but is lower stakes than you might be used to.
In any case, it's the first one I've ever read that's been slice of life, and it's odd. I'm not sure what I think of it yet.
Well, if you don't completely hate it, I guess that means something.
Yeah,
Not
I
sure
don't
what.
completely hate it, but I'm not sure if it's the story, if it's the narrator.
Who's
The narrator, that's a great question. I will look it up, but I will tell you in a second. But the narrator is excellent, and I'm not sure if the story without the narrator would be nearly as gripping for me.
I believe that.
The story, by the way, is Battle Mage Farmer. Is the series.
Farmer.
And the narrator is... Who is the narrator? Come on.
Terry, you're on the clock.
I know I'm on the clock. Surely it listed here somewhere. Where's the narrator?
I'd hope it would.
Michael Kramer.
Oh, okay.
He's very good at it. He makes it sound like the guy's talking. It sounds like it's a Western. I'm hearing Western in my head. Very interesting.
William says quite a bit of Japanese media falls into this. Works well with Kisho Tenkatsu. Very character driven. Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh my gosh, I'm not sure that would work in this particular narrative structure.
Probably not.
Xander suggests Legends and Lattes, a fantasy series about running a cafe.
I've heard the name, but I haven't gotten around to it.
It is written and narrated by a fantastic audiobook narrator, and one of my favorites, Travis Baldry.
Yeah,
So-
he's one of my favorites too.
Yes. So, but he wrote that one, and then I think the follow-up is Bookshops and Bone Dust. Yeah. But yeah, it is excellent. But I'll listen to pretty much anything he narrates.
Interesting.
If you have an opportunity to listen to the sample for, I think the first book is Domestication, is the first book in that series. Listen to just a couple of minutes of the sample, and you'll hear what I mean about the sounds like it's somebody from the Old West.
Okay.
You're supposed to be hating on 2023, not bringing up stuff that happened that was cool in 2023. That's not what you're supposed to do here.
You asked what was good. We haven't gone.
I've answered the question that I was asked.
But now I don't like this. You're having too much fun.
Okay, well then bring it down, baby. Come on, Debbie Downer, bring her down.
Use the flamethrower. Come on, man. It's 2023. Use the flamethrower.
So you want me to come up with something that I absolutely hated about 2023?
Something that went wrong in your work, that went wrong with the biz, something along those lines. What infuriated you this year?
I wasn't too happy to hear that that one guy got accused of plagiarism. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm not happy to hear that. Nobody wants that kind of stain on their particular profession.
No,
I don't want to see that. So I'm definitely not happy about that. But inside the writing community, other than traditional publishing being traditionally bad, I don't know that anything is impacting me in a negative way from 2023 in writing.
Okay, you shut up. V.
Oh. Let's see.
I love the look of the deer in the headlights. Like, it's so much fun.
Who, me? What can I say? This is very expressive. Business-wise, I think my biggest thing was having to have shoulder surgery and not necessarily planning around it, because I didn't audition as much as I should have during that time, and then I just didn't have a lot of work to do. I did not have a very good recording year. I got to record stuff that I loved to record, but I had more than one project where, better business practices, and that's just me and follow through. And then I think industry wise, just the whole bit of, I'm going to rant about AI and narration and synthetic voices. But I think that's the biggest thing that just annoyed me. And it's not that I necessarily think it's going to take work away from me, but it is.
It's going to bring down the quality of everything.
Yeah, it's putting a substandard option out there for someone, and it's taking advantage of newer authors,
and lazy authors.
Well, and lazy authors. But lack of information, lack of resources, and it just bothers me on a craft level, because I think doing something like that, you're doing a disservice to your work. And for all of the time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears that you put into writing something, if you need to have a good cover, get a good cover. If you're going to put it into another format, make sure that other format best represents the story that you're putting out. And you're not going to get the emotion and acting that, from a synthetic voice that you can get from a human. It's just the technology is not there yet. And there was, in one of the communities, one of the audiobook communities, someone was talking about how they were having a discussion. They said, well, it's once you sell your craft, it's no longer art, it's a job.
I don't know that I agree to that.
Oh, I totally don't agree with that.
That is definitely said from somebody who does not put their blood, sweat, and tears into the work. Fuck you.
No. And I'm thinking, it's like, so wait, so you're saying that every music artist, you're saying every author, every professional athlete, any coder, anybody who has to create something from scratch or rely on an action that has taken coaching and training and structure.
That is the sum of your experience.
Yeah. That once you're getting paid for it, it's no longer art or a craft.
So
yeah,
let's discuss that concept with Leonardo. Let's discuss that with Michelangelo.
Oh yeah, the Sistine Chapel, that was just a construction project.
That was just a construction project. It's not art because he was paid for it.
You realize none of that stuff and none of those assholes would exist without a patron who was paying their fucking bills so they could do that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
artists being paid for their work has been part of the gig from the very beginning. This mystical thing that artists shouldn't be paid with dirty lucre for their work is bullshit.
And back and when it was popular for artists to have patrons, to be a patron and say, oh yes, I'm a patron of this one and this one, that was a status thing. Like, to say that you could pay an artist for certain things and commission stuff, you were like, that was a big deal. You were seriously well off. You were a high ranking, member. That was like old money shit. So,
yeah, William Da Vinci was a hack. Come on. What a chump.
But it's, yeah. So
people will do their thing to get themselves I wonder how many of those people that are saying that kind of crap is because they aren't good enough to be paid and they're just a little bit lazy.
Or bitter.
They're trying to justify their own inability to get money for their work. I
Well,
wonder
some
how
of them
many.
are. Some of them
It
are
could
just
be.
plain idealists to the hilt and core, but I
Or
wonder
maybe
how
they're
many
just
of them have
trolls
mommy
who
and
want to
daddy paying their bills.
excuse.
Or that.
I will certainly grant that
Nice.
there are some folks out there that are very much idealists, that want to do art for the sake of just doing it and not worry about how they're going to put food on the table. They are the minority, though. And the lucky ones have someone else that can support them, like a spouse or a trust fund.
Taxes can paralyze people with fear. Yeah, I'm terrified every time I open a tax bill.
Gosh, I don't, if I had to say something bad about this last year, the taxes would be it.
Were the taxes bad because the income was good?
That's incredibly the case, and the taxes are also bad because my wife didn't put enough money aside to pay them, so we are still digging ourselves out of the tax hole. There's nothing like having 2023 go, yeah, by the way, you owe us $22,000 in taxes. That's rough. So, yeah, that's a negative for 2023.
So here's what I find interesting is on the work side, sounds like this year was kind of frustrating, but a lot of it had to do with basically just bad luck and some personal habits that need to change. And
A lot of it, and yeah, a lot of audiobook narrators were in the same boat because you had the actor strike going on,
right.
and you had a lot of people who had agents and who had connections and who were in bigger cities. And so when the strike was going on, they gravitated to audiobooks. And that's okay. I am not going to begrudge anybody that work. And a lot of it was just me and mindset and, dealing with extenuating circumstances. I am narrator. I make words.
You should have extenuating.
Extenuating?
Yeah,
Extenuating?
make it bleed out. Extenuating circumstances.
Ah, that was scary.
Exsanguination.
What a show.
That would actually be a really, really cool title for like a vampire law.
Yeah.
Like Vampire Law and Order. Extenuating circumstances.
Your Honor, I want to plead extenuating circumstances. Oh.
Exsanguinating.
Oh, wait, what?
Case dismissed.
Yeah, the fang mark's right here. Oh, well then, yeah.
You see, my client, he's left-handed, so he would bite on the other side.
He's left-toothed.
You see these bite marks, they're a little too far apart. My client here...
If you measure this, you'll see that it's a physical impossibility. If the fang doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Oh, that was good. That was good, Terry. That was good. I got to give credit where credit was due. That was good. Now I want to include that line somewhere. Now I want to steal that line and put it into my work.
I absolutely grant you permission to use that line as much as you like.
Because you stole it from somebody else.
No, I made it up on the spot.
No, that's...
The you must acquit part.
It's true.
But
That's what writers do. They take something out there and they twist it to their own evil ends.
Exactly. So much fun. Really, it just sounds like work was pretty good this year. I actually had one of the best years money-wise ever from my writing alone, from my ebooks alone. Actually, it's probably is my best year ever. And I got, 3 books done? I got 5 or 6 books now in the queue to get published. I have 3 under different, 3 or 4 under various working in progress states, and more hooked up. The audiobooks are selling, as far as I can tell. The Black audiobooks. The Black series has pretty much just basically saved my career again. All those things have happened. Great, wonderful. Who gives a fuck? Because everything else has fallen apart. From March 1st, everything this year has been one gigantic slog from one crisis to the next. And for me, that has made it, I can't believe I am still any I still have any mental faculties at this point. But 2023 is going to drag into 2024 for me, but I'm hopeful that I'll be a little more resilient this time in dealing with it. What I didn't do well this year was stuff on the personal side and the business side. And I have to get better about that. And that I can blame some of that on situational issues, but really it's just like if you're over 50 years old, be an adult and take care of shit. So that's, basically what it comes down to. And there were some good things that happened in 2023. We got Violet, which just about killed me the first 4 months we had her because I didn't fucking sleep. Strangely enough, I lost my job around the same time as Violet, or 2 months after we got Violet, because I wasn't sleeping. I wonder if that had anything to do with it. So anyway, that happened. The car wreck, the COVID, the hospitalizations, the everything. And there's more. There's always more. Every day, there's more. So the personal side, the mental health side, the physical side, all that stuff went in the shitter this year. And I got to do a better job. There's things obviously I can't control. I can't control passing out in the car and having a car wreck. That's a little bit beyond my control. I can't control getting COVID. I can't control falling down and breaking my hip or something. It's just shit happens. But the other things I'm doing better at, I'm taking a little bit better care of my body. No one can tell but me. And I'll never admit it. But then also trying to take better care of my brain. But 2023, for all its goods, was a shit year. An absolute fucking shit year. So here we are talking about the things that that we were able to control this year that worked out well for us. And I think that's the big deal. It's about the things that you can actually control. I can't control the health of others. I can't control my own health. I can do what I can, and that's about that. What I can do is I can control the words. I can control the business side. I can control getting the artwork. I can control all those business things, and I just need to get a better control of them. And I think the rest will fall into place. And I'm very jealous of Terry because Terry has an assembly line set up for him.
I do.
Basically plops his stuff on it, shakes his dealy do, and then a book just shits out. It's awesome.
I've never heard my process put quite in those words before. It sounds like, I have like the Willy Wonka's book factory going on or something.
Don't you, Terry? Don't you? Don't you have like an entire tribe of Oompa Loompas actually writing your books?
If we were going to say this, Terry's book process is like the old. It would be like the old school, the Gene Wilder version of Willy Wonka, where the room where they make the everlasting gobstopper and everything's under blankets and it's all crazy and you throw a switch and then and then you get these perfect little everlasting gobstoppers out of the conveyor line. And Paul, yours is like the boat ride with the chicken that gets its head chopped off. And Wonka's just standing in the front singing, and they're like, "Where are we going? I don't know. Where are we going?"
Mine is the puzzle where you've got the goat, the snake, and the baby, and you've got to get all three of the other side without all of them dying. Because if you leave one with it's the puzzle. That's my book's process. Is the whole fucking puzzle thing.
I see my process is more like the left Twix versus right Twix factory.
Left Twix versus right Twix?
Have you ever seen those commercials?
Apparently not.
Where they have competing left Twix versus right Twix factories that are competing against one another. It's true. They're a real thing.
Huh.
Well, it's true that there's a commercial that deals it. I doubt they do that.
Terry Embley line. Left and right Twix. I'll take y'all's word for it. I got nothing. I don't know. I just do not know.
Well, so if we've got all the things that we can't control, what can you do that you can control?
Call people when I need to call them. Reach out when I need. Just spend more time focusing on what's in front of me rather than trying to do 90,000 things at once. and be ready for just because you think something's going to happen doesn't mean anyone else knows it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things happen as well. And then also making sure that it'd be kind of nice if every once in a while was somebody look over my shoulder and go, "What the fuck are you doing?" Because sometimes I don't know.
Yeah, I know for me, one of the things that I did today, actually, there's a audiobook narrator and she does a bunch of other things, but she runs it's called Starving Artists No More. And essentially it's a community, and it's a business minded community where you pretty much work through, challenges, and she does talks and lectures and stuff about how to improve your business. And it is specifically for people who work in creative fields where a lot of your basic entrepreneur stuff just doesn't work. And I've gone to a couple lectures that she's done online. I was like, you know what, for all the stuff that I spend money on, I think this would be a decent investment, because I came from academia. I can follow an academic thing, and I need something where I can check in every week and know that I'm on the right track, because I got to do something to fix this. I've got to do something to stay on a track and to stay focused, because I have some good habits and others are shit.
Yeah, this year I tried to do bowl for multitasking, and I will never do that again.
Never works for me when I try to multitask either.
I'm going to have to tell the patrons, you're not getting any content in January because I'm only doing one thing, and that's this. And I will pop my head up every now and then and say hi, and then I will go back down and do my stuff because this has got to get done. Period.
I put a video on the live channel explaining the whole left Twix versus right Twix thing.
Oh, God. I can't wait to look at that later. It reminds me I don't have Discord up because I rebooted my computer, as I'm just completely stupid that way. Oh, it's back.
Oh, yes.
Julius endeavors to make 2024 the year of the purr.
It's that calming, soothing bit. Well, and the other thing that you'd think for someone who used to teach, time management and learning strategies and all this stuff, I would be able to do this on my own. No. But there's some things I can look forward to. Like, I know that by this time next year, I may not be in this room. I may finally get to move stuff to a new room and be able to shift my workflow because I won't be right next to the air conditioner. That'll be great. And I'll have some more room in here. But that, well, no, okay.
That is so not true, Xander.
That's not really it. The fact that I was able to manage everything was because it's an external versus internal accountability thing. Keep in mind, my time management skills at the height of it, 3 children under the age of 10, doing grad school, full-time job, part-time narrating, part-time podcasting, spouse in grad school. And I was teaching at least 2 classes on top of running tutoring and hiring tutors. So once upon a time, it was great, but it was because I answered to other people. I didn't have to set my own deadlines. I'm just a great. I'm not the best boss for myself.
New space, new woman. Get her to the she shed. Yeah.
There, at the beginning of 2020, I actually had a conversation with the Mighty Ginger because at the time the lot behind us wasn't built on. And I was like, you know what? We could buy that lot and tie the 2 lots together and we could build a spot for a studio. Or I was like, or we can build a bigger spot so that he'd have a place to do woodworking, because he likes doing that sort of stuff. He just doesn't have the time. But yeah, so, but having a new space, but also I know that I'm going to have to move another kid to college. That's going to happen this year.
Mm.
I've got to travel for kids for sports because they're good and I like to support that. So that's going to happen too. But knowing that and trying to leave space in my calendar for it, that's going to be something new so that I can plan further out. So I know that I can front load the year and really, go hard and audition and put in time for writing so that when the third quarter opens up and it's the middle of the summer and there are tournaments and moving kids and all these other transitions, I'm not struggling to get work for the fourth quarter because I'll have it lined up already.
Right.
But it's a lot of planning and it's a lot of mental work.
I think what you said is the lack of external accountability is what makes it difficult. It does make it
It
difficult.
is. Some
'Cause
people are
you can
very
jump too
internally
easily.
motivated.
You can jump way too easily from this to that, the other, because you've got time. You've got this deadline out, this ephemeral deadline that doesn't really
Mhm.
exist. Nobody's watching for it, but you. And therefore, if
Yeah.
you blow it, who cares? So guess what? You keep just blowing it.
Yeah. It's easier to narrate for other people because, this book has to be delivered on this date. This one has to be delivered on this date. And so
Right.
plotting stuff out, no problem. Oh, it's a pupper. This sweet girl.
And the cat that chases her around.
Yes.
Yeah, the violets in the hizzle. I think that's how you do.
Meanwhile,
it's a lot of tail in this
Terry
room,
has a constant rotation.
pretty much.
Pollux decided he wanted his pettins too.
Well,
Leo would get some, but he's asleep.
Oh, well. Do not want to wake a sleeping Leo.
So how are you planning on imposing these external deadlines or accountability? You've got your accountability for writing. You have to give your written pages and show them off to the
She's
MG.
not helping. She's like, she hasn't taken it seriously.
How rude.
I know, but you can't really. So all that I can do is I can say, all right, I don't have it this week, but it's something that I can track. So I have to hold myself accountable and keep it front of mind. So I know that what I'm working on, and again, for me, it's that handwritten thing. If I have this clipboard here and there's not 5 pages and I'm like, oh, what should I do? No, you should sit down and write another 200 words. Don't mess
something very
around.
much like that.
Yeah. So that's the best I can do. And then on days where I'm not recording or I've got other things to do, bring it with me.
Well, that sounds like a good start. I got
What
a lot of
you got
Amazon
toys.
gift card cash this year. So I got journals, new journals, a ton of ink for my fountain pen. And I go back to, I now want to have one of these journals for every 2 books.
Nice.
Because I was running out of the other one. So I'm already getting that. So I will have my notes and brain doodles and everything else on the pages instead of on the computer, split the focus a little bit, get the fuck away from the computer and the laptop and the screen, whatever, and just be able to completely decompress.
Mm-hmm.
Personal accountability with writing for me nearly impossible. Not only no external deadlines, but when I do make my deadlines, no one sees the progress. Writing is the ultimate no man's land. It feels like that, yeah.
Yes.
It does feel like that.
Every writer is an island.
Like yeah, every writer is an island. No writer is an island, but some writers are peninsulas.
Okay.
I stole that line from the Survivors. I think that's what it's called. When Walter Matthau and Robin Williams. The movie came out about 1981 or 82. Absolutely fabulous flick.
Jeez.
So I'm changing things. But the accountability thing on the other side, that one's hard. If you don't have somebody begging you for pages every week, if you don't have somebody beating you over the head every week saying, where's my finished chapter? it can make things a little bit difficult to try and make that accountability happen. But my accountability is I need to get a book out in the first quarter.
That brings us to this year going forward. And the series that I'm currently working on wraps up at book 15. So I just turned in book 12. I'm now writing on book 13. And the publisher wants to go ahead and release the next series in a rapid release. So he wants the audio done for the first 3 books before he releases anything.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
So that's a significant gap in releases.
Yeah.
So I am producing faster because I want to minimize that gap. Because who wants to have, say 6 months between their releases? That would be very bad.
Dude, at this point, I would kill for 6 months between releases because I'm only getting 2 books out a year anyway.
I'm releasing a book every 2 months.
I know.
I need to go ahead and produce them faster so that maybe that 6 month gap would be a 4 month gap.
Oh no, I understand where you're at. It's just that they want to record all the audio. It really depends on how long that's going to take.
Jeffrey Kafer's a busy guy.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
He is.
So
I have no idea how that's going to work.
That schedule they have in mind may not be possible either.
Well, I can't control that.
No, you can't.
Or they may need to pony up for that, rush.
Yeah, rush.
That rush rate.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I feel confident that if that's what he wants, he will. They've got some kind of arrangement with Jeff, so I don't know the specifics of it, but I know that he does a number of series for Variant Publishing.
Oh,
so
okay.
they've got some kind of arrangement with him.
Good for now.
So it's not like he's an in-house narrator, but there's some kind of linkage there, I think.
There's a partnership of sorts.
He's the preferred guy. So maybe it's possible. He wouldn't. I'm sure that he wouldn't say that that's what he wants to do without having something lined up to actually do that.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's just my brain was thinking, have they made reserves for that? That's a lot of books.
That's a lot of books.
Oftentimes, if you have a series and you know when it's going to, you have deadlines of when it's going to be released, then you can work that out with your narrator. I've got that going right now for 2. The current paranormal fiction series I'm working on, and then also a sports romance that I'm working on. Those are already scheduled out for a couple months because I know when the books are going to be released, and they know when they want the audio done. They know when they want the audio done. Words are important.
Yeah, I've got no insight into the timelines for the audio. I know that with The Last Hunter, the audio has been coming out after the books by a couple of months usually. So this has not been something where they've been releasing them simultaneously, but that's what they want to do for this next series. They want to have simultaneous audio and ebook releases. And I'm like, okay.
Well, that's the way I would love if I put out I would love to have my TPB, my ebook, and the audiobook all out the same day every time.
That's their goal for the first 3 books.
Is completely fucking unreachable for me personally.
And I don't know what they mean by rapid release. I'm not sure if that means a book a month when they release them, but I would suspect it would be something along those lines.
Yeah, I hate the lag that happens because you see an ebook come out and it's like, oh, the paperback doesn't come out for 2 months. And then the paperback comes out and it's like, oh, the paperback's out, but now the audiobook doesn't come out for another 4 months. It's like, what the fuck, guys? Can't you schedule this? And, once you get into it, you realize there's a lot of fucking moving pieces here that have to happen for, even for somebody like me. I'm one person, but there's still a lot of moving pieces. If I put a date on the map, it's a guess. Because there's so much shit that could go wrong. And of course, if you do a pre-sale with Amazon or whatnot, you are totally screwed if you miss that. So I don't think I'm ever going to do that again because it was really rough last time because of problems with the cover on my end. So I would rather, if I'm going to do that, I would like to have the whole thing, like the whole shooting match done and just be waiting for minor blemishes to be corrected before I do anything like that. But the way I'm going to have to do things is the ebook and trade paperback are going to have to come out to finance essentially the audiobook. Or so I have time to do the audiobook.
But that's not always a bad thing. I mean, yeah, we want simultaneous releases, but at the same time, remember, if you're putting out another version, which essentially what the audio is, that's just another opportunity. Say, hey, this new version's out. And if you missed it and you don't want audio, I've got it here and here. It's just another opportunity to promote the same product.
Another complication to how they do this is he also sells audio through his own site, and that comes out 30 days before it's on Audible. So I'm not quite sure how all of that scheduling works. But yeah, Variant Publications sells their own audio through their own site, and they release it 30 days early there. And I suppose it works for them.
I take it that means they're not Audible exclusive then.
They are not. At least not with my series anyway. They're not. Not with the stuff they sell on that site. They're not.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Interesting. I wish I could get more folks to purchase the audiobooks from my site. It's funny when they do, because it's always a shock to me because it doesn't happen very often. But like yesterday, somebody bought the entire Derelict collection from PayHip and paid me $50 or $60 or whatever it was over the, $15-20 over the list price. And that PayHip takes almost none of that. So I mean, it's a lot of bang for the buck, so to speak, for that ending up in the pocket, as opposed to how many audiobook sales or subscribers you got to get, your shit to make that same kind of money. Drew says audio is the bane of my existence. I don't have the voice for audio or the budget for a good narrator right now.
We have the face for radio, so we understand.
Says you. I have the face for a really bad VHS recorder circa 1983.
You're more Betamax.
Betamax. Not VHS, Betamax. You are correct. Better scan lines. Much better quality. Wow. Hopelessly doomed to fail.
Oh, look, witty self-deprecation. It must be DRS.
I don't have anything other than self-deprecation. Mr.
I said witty self-deprecation.
I make so much more money selling print from my site and in person than from Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm making an ungodly amount of money from Amazon right now compared to what I sell on my own. Guess where I'm buying my Paul Audio now? My Paul Ludio.
Paul Audio?
Paul Ludio. Yeah, the only problem is the moment you go Audible exclusive, you can't do that shit. You can't sell it from your own site. The trick to that is if you go and buy me a coffee at a certain level or Patreon, then I have those audiobooks behind a paywall, essentially, and Audible can't do a damn thing about it, which is interesting. Everybody's happy with that arrangement. But I don't know what the feature of that's going to be. I mean, basically, I want to get to the point where once the entire Black series is done, I would love it to stay on Audible exclusive for like a year, and then slowly, or not Audible, but Amazon Kindle exclusive, KDP exclusive, and then after 6 months or a year after that, then cut it and make it wide. I'd love to do that. That is my goal. We'll see if it's financially feasible. You do several markets fairs. You'd rather sell on Amazon, but I at least like to have some cash flow. You're in a different situation than we are. So what I've said is 2023 was a piece of shit for a lot of reasons. Not all, but for a lot of reasons. I don't regret my dog. I don't regret how well my books are selling. I don't regret the words I wrote. I don't regret the words the books that I've got ready to rock, almost ready to rock. What I do regret is how I handled some of the adversity this year, and we'll do a better job in 2024. But 2023 needs to kiss my ass, and I'm going to kick its ass out the door, maybe with a firework up its poof shoot, because I'm just done with it. So there, I've said my last about 2023. Do you have any parting words for 2023, V?
The year coming up can do better. That's
tepid. That's tepid. I rank it a C. Terry?
Well, I just don't have anything to say bad about 2023 other than taxes. So down with the IRS.
You
Oh my
asked.
God. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I did kick some ass this year. I did. It's just, this has been just a truly fucking horrible, awful fucking year. There's things I should have done a lot better, but I will next time. So 2024, let's have grand hopes and aspirations for it not to suck as bad as 2023 for all the reasons that it did suck, and for it to just be as good as 2023 was in other respects, if not better. Basically, I guess the whole point of this exercise was to show that the cup half full versus the cup half empty. So empty the goddamn cup and refill it on January 1st. This new year, new time, new opportunity, and I can't believe I'm giving y'all a pep talk. That is not my job here. Oh my God. Don't ever do that again.
Be aggressive. Be whatever.
If you have a question or comment about this episode, this train wreck of an episode, you can send an email to show@deadrobotsociety.com. You can find me on Mastodon at Paul_E_Cooley at VYRSE.social. 2024 2-hour shows. You can.
I don't think so. Wouldn't be prudent.
Wouldn't be prudent, he says. I don't know. Would that work exactly? I don't know.
Could we talk that long?
You can find us.
Could we? Absolutely, we
Absolutely.
could. Should we? Probably
No.
not.
You can find us on Facebook at the Dead Robot Society writing community, where we all mingle the madness now. You can find us at youtube.com/DRS podcast, where you can find us every Saturday at 3 p.m. CST. Like and subscribe so you always know when we're live. Wow, that rhymed. New. And if you want to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/DRS podcast and buymeacoffee.com/DRS podcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive live content, which we got coming up in just about 7.5 minutes, where Terry's promised to show us his inner bikini.
Tune in for that.
Yeah. At the $10 level, you get your name read. And our $10 patrons are Tony L. Joy, Rick Shaw, Lisa Slack, Isabel Kushi, and Tim Niederreiter. Thank you to all of our patrons for helping us pay the bills and make this show possible. With that, we're going to get the hell out of here. Thanks for joining us again. Thanks for hanging out with us. I was really great to see a live chat today.
A lively live chat.
Lively live chat.
Very lively.
We do this show for you, so hopefully you keep coming back and being obnoxious. So we love it. So have a great and safe New Year's Eve. Have a great and safe New Year's Day. And we will talk to you next Saturday. Until then, take care and have a good time.